Welcome to the Understanding Place Sentiment High Street Task Force webinar for the 5th of June 2024. Please drop in the Q&A. Yes, we've got people talking in the Q&A. If by any chance you're watching this on catch up, there'll be a blue button somewhere around the video, and please jump in and talk to us there as well, and you'll get live answers as well. So what happens next is really the title of today's session, because the High Street Task Force comes to an end. There are some accelerators that the High Street Task Force are working with directly. And as you know, a number of we're working with a wide range of local authorities ourselves. So our intention is that these webinars have been so well attended that we plan to continue doing them on a monthly basis. If you don't want to be involved in that, please let us know, but we will just continue to turn up and talk about interesting things that are happening from a technology and AI perspective. What we'd like to do today is look at where the last 5 years have taken us, because my, has it been a journey. Who expected COVID to be in the middle of that? But I think for us, we've learned an awful lot about how we can help local authorities deliver on certain aspects, and we'd like to share that with you. So our agenda today is to outline the opportunities that exist for you and local businesses with AI and bridging the digital divide, because I think I was pretty passionate about helping local businesses before the High Street Task Force, and what it's done for me is really demonstrate the impact that local business support can have and how big the digital divide really is. And Sarah, would you have anything to add to that?
Oh, well, I mean, we keep thinking the digital divide is going to get smaller, but actually it seems to be growing at an exponential rate, especially since the birth of, well, I say the birth of, we've been working with AI for a long time, haven't we? But since AI has become much more in the hands of all of us, it's quite a fascinating time, really.
So yeah, lovely to see everybody telling us where they're from. Hello from Aylesbury, hello from Broxtowe, Eastwood specifically. Thank you. So yeah, we're gonna look at, what does the world look like going forward, and how can we all help local businesses thrive, because they are the lifeblood of our communities, and they are the reason we visit places, and they are the heart of community. Our journey with AI actually began right at the beginning, because the reason we got the High Street Task Force gig is because we were using AI to help them create their dashboard. Looking back now, that's a very simplistic use of AI, but it's, we've been working with AI for quite a long period of time now. And that initial version enabled us to summarize what was happening from what's being said and which channels are being used across social media only. Whereas now, 5 years later, there's a much bigger opportunity around how AI can really move the dial. So hats off to Kathy and the team for being forward thinking, and you have our commitment that we want to find a way to make it available to everybody going forward, because it's really powerful. Now we'll talk more about the data within that these dashboards tell, but we know there is an incredibly close link between digital activity and physical output, in the sense of footfall and sales. And we know that there's a huge gap between the number of local businesses that are active digitally, and that involves all channels. It's not just about social media, it's about their website, it's about being able to be active on WhatsApp. It's about being able to connect to their customer, and it really matters. This kiddie arrived on the scene just over 18 months ago. So ChatGPT is another manifestation of AI, but it's created a rapid acceleration of the way that AI services are being rolled out, and it is changing the way technology and services are being delivered. It's been one of the fastest, it had the fastest uptake of any company or any digital service other than Threads, which, to be fair, had a fairly large head start because it had all those Instagram users to go over. But ChatGPT went to over how many users?
Over 1 million users in 5 days. 5 days.
It's quite something, isn't it? You imagine having 1 million people turn up at your place, at your location, with 5 days' notice. It doesn't bear thinking about. but what it can do for the way you deliver service is extraordinary, Sarah, isn't it?
Oh, it's amazing. Just internally for us, I mean, how much has it streamlined our processes and helped us do our best work faster? It's taken us on an extraordinary journey and continues to do so.
We'll come back to that actually, Sarah. It's a really well-made point. So it'd be lovely to hear in the chat, in the Q&A actually, anybody that is using AI more in their service delivery right now. It'd be lovely to let anybody drop any feedback into chat right now, into the Q&A right now around how you're using AI to help service delivery. Now, here's what we are doing, and here's what we believe is important, because of the data that we were collecting on behalf of the High Street Task Force, we know that across the UK, only 19% of businesses have an active digital presence. That means that they say something on a monthly basis. Now, I find that quite staggering, and I wouldn't believe me if it wasn't. I wouldn't believe me if it wasn't the fact we actually physically looked at the data and look at it. When you consider that as individuals, 82% of our purchasing decisions are impacted by something we see digitally, you start to understand the scale of the problem. Every major brand tends to talk about their website, they don't talk about the place they're in. Do I believe that the dial has moved over the last 5 years? If I'm honest, no, I don't. I do believe that the SMEs that are good at digital are getting better at driving digital traffic to their websites. But do I believe that businesses as a whole understand that digital has a huge impact on the physical world? I don't think so, Sarah. Would you agree with that?
I totally agree with you. The lack of sort of clear understanding of how using everything from website to email campaigns to social media to SMS messaging, WhatsApp messaging, all of these amazing digital tools we have. We're all very good at using them on a personal level, contacting our family. We got really good at it, didn't we, over the pandemic? But businesses seem to have a real problem with connecting the power of digital to their business growth, especially when they have a physical location. And actually, we're all walking around all day with one of these bad boys in our hands. Of course, our places we're connected to our places digitally. It's where we find out where we're going, what we're going to be doing, who we're going to be seeing, where we're getting our haircut. I mean, everything you can think of. We're actually researching it digitally before we go to our physical place, but the businesses just don't seem to get it.
You're stealing my slides, Sarah.
Sorry.
Does this unit? But you're absolutely right, Sarah. It's we book things online without a second thought. But the truth is, businesses do know it is just really, really hard to do. Now, we're not speaking out of turn here. We've worked very closely with 25,000 plus, actually. So it's like massively out of date now. So we've just finished another round of UK SPF projects for a whole raft of local authorities, and there's a real desire to improve how they do this. But the truth is, it's really hard. And it's hard because as a consumer, that description that Sarah's just described of booking hair, or all of those things take 30 seconds digitally. But actually, from a business process perspective, they are quite complex. And that's the challenge, is how do you help businesses not just deliver a social post or an email? How do you actually get them to string those business processes together? We work with businesses like New River, for example, who they're a PLC and they have shopping centres across the UK, but their challenge is how do they ensure the service delivery of their digital comms is consistent across all those places, across different teams. So we work with them on a range of levels, which are there to train their teams, but also to provide the tools so they can monitor how it works. Now, for you as local authorities, you've got challenges around everything from parking to bin collection to council tax, as well as helping local businesses. And I think that is what's really interesting about the era we're now moving into, which is that how can we use the tools that are available to us to change the service delivery model so that we can move the dial, because we know it's access to information that helps people change. And I think we've got some lovely quotes, Sarah, later on, haven't we, about businesses who, when they can access data on demand, what happens to them?
Well, firstly, they get very excited, and then they actually start adopting things, adopting ideas, giving things a try, and then they start to understand the economic value of the effort they're putting in.
So actually, somebody on one of our participants has said that they need to create a tender document for a particular aspect of the role, and they've used AI to do that. Now, having never had to write a tender document for AI, but instrumental in guiding me through how to approach it. And that is absolutely the key, is that we're all being asked to do things that probably aren't our natural thing. Yeah, we're all having to do something that is new to us. And if you can learn how to use AI to say, how do I do a thing? How can I ask for some expert help? Your learning rapidly increases. Now, Sarah said a very interesting thing just a moment ago, which is AI has changed our service delivery. And from our perspective, as a business, we are now dealing with something like 600 plus inquiries a day about how do I do a thing? How do I set up a social media account, or how do I do email marketing? Whatever it is. And every single one, oh no, that's not quite right. 94.75% of those inquiries, of those 600 inquiries on a daily basis, are answered by our AI. And most importantly, it gets how many stars rating, Sarah?
I think we've got 4.8 star rating, and our average response time is 12 seconds.
Now, any of you could be doing that based upon the knowledge that your local authority has for any range of your services. It's not particular to what we do. As long as you feed the AI the right messages. My husband's now ringing, which you don't set everything. Sorry, darling, I'll call you later. That AI can help you absolutely transform service delivery, and it will enable your team to do double the output in half the time. Doesn't mean that doesn't mean they haven't got a job. It means they can do higher value tasks, because we've learned with servicing 25,000 businesses, a lot of the tasks are repetitive, and AI does that so well. It's also, to be fair, Sarah, if we looked at the customer service questions that we're answering, could we employ enough team members to do it at that quality? Because how good is it?
Oh, it's amazing. And we couldn't. And I think one of the key things about it is that not only does it deliver accurate and informed responses that are easy for the recipient to understand, but it does it in a consistent tone of voice. So if you've got 50 members on your team, you're never going to get the same tone of voice. You're never going to have that consistency. I know with so many local authorities, I talk to them all day, every day, that their comms teams really struggle, because there is such a skill to digital communications when talking as a local authority, responding as a local authority, and how you respond. It's really, really difficult to get everybody to understand how to answer those difficult questions. Even the simple ones like, why do I pay my council tax? My bins haven't been collected yet again. It's that consistency that's really, really key, and keeps you within your brand guidelines, within your communication guidelines, and so on.
So I think there is a huge opportunity from a local authority perspective to deploy AI to do something incredible. And if anybody needs any help with that, please do get in touch, because we've got lots of experience about how that works and doesn't. I just need to turn to get hold of them. So Sarah mentioned this earlier on, which is that we're all on our phones, and we will increasingly start to be, every service you're using has AI baked into it. Google now has AI baked into it. AI is not something you can choose to use or not use. It's something that is going to become part of service delivery. So we will, I would say, probably in a year or so's time, you won't talk about something as being AI powered. It's kind of that will be you'll expect it. It won't be. It'd be a little bit like saying, I use a key to drive my car. You just drive your car, right? AI is just something baked into services. So, and this for me is the risk, which is that those businesses that haven't yet adopted technology, if they now don't have the benefit of AI plus technology, they're going to get even further away. And the same from your service delivery perspective. You know, AI has, yeah, we're probably at the bleeding edge of it because we've been doing it for a long time, but I cannot tell you how much it's changed our business in a really positive way for all our team members as well. It's not about it's not about people not having a great job. Sarah, would you say that your work has improved because of AI in our business?
Oh, exponentially. It's so much less noisy. I've got a knowledge base at my fingertips without having to, you know, ping you on Slack or ping one of the other members of the team on Slack, or we've reduced the number of meetings we need to have. We're so much more efficient, and access, you know, being able to create the content that we need to reach out to, you know, working with, I think actually, Polly, we've just broken the 29,000 barrier for supporting businesses. That's a lot of businesses to look after. And AI has helped us do that extremely well.
It wouldn't be possible. It just,
No.
we operate on a very thin margin. You know, we're passionate about supporting SMEs. There's not huge, you know, there aren't big margins in it. So we couldn't do it. You just couldn't provide that level of support. And that would be sort of 28,000 businesses that wouldn't have the support had we not had it, because we needed the customer service team that would be unaffordable. And I think that's really important to understand. So I would like to, as sort of our exit interview from the High Street Task Force, say, thank you, High Street Task Force. Thank you for pushing us down the AI route, because they were our first AI contract. And it's enabled us to really create a business support platform that I think can move the dial across the UK. And I'd like you all to indulge me in letting me share it with you. Nobody has seen this yet. So apologies, but I'm going to share this with you because it is, and I'm going to try and do some Canva, which isn't working. Which is that we have used this to deliver service, but we haven't presented it as a service in its own right. So we have used this probably across 10 UK SPF and preceding UK CRF projects for ourselves. But we're now preparing to release it as an infrastructure, if you like, for delivering local business support that we'd like to invite you all to be part of. And we believe this is one of the legacies that could be of the High Street Task Force, but also a new service delivery mechanism that will help bridge the digital divide. It's about providing 24/7 support for local businesses, the lifeblood of our communities and our high streets. And it's not about replacing your existing support. It's about providing an infrastructure that your existing support can be enhanced by. That's a really key message that I want to push across, is that this is all about taking the existing support mechanisms that you've got through growth hubs and other services, and enabling that rich local support to sit on top of something that provides an ongoing infrastructure that is fueled by bleeding edge technology. So our objective is to accelerate business growth across the UK through AI-driven support. And this project will enhance the creation of new businesses and provide on-demand support for scale-up and growth businesses across the UK. It will work UK-wide, and it will have 24/7 accessibility. It will provide around-the-clock, on-demand expert assistance for businesses at all stages. You know, we've done this for digital. We know it works. It's just about adding richer knowledge bases in. And so it can cover topics like sustainability and net zero. All of that information that every business needs access to can be included in this knowledge base very simply. And what we will provide the facility for is for local authorities to then have access to layer their information on top for their areas based upon the business postcode entered. So it means that there's one infrastructure that can then be localized very simply, which brings huge economies of scale. Please ask any questions as we go through this, because this is quite a big idea. We've got the tools to do it, and we want to involve everybody in it. So we love your feedback, because we did debate whether we'd share this with everybody today, and we thought, hell bells, let's just do it. So just please let us know what you think as we go through. We believe this aligns with investment priorities. We know the budgets aren't big, so we want to provide the tools that make it incredibly affordable to streamline and simplify business and support offer. We want to ensure straightforward access to business support for all, and critically make it 24/7, because we know everybody's working different timescales. It will provide the framework for you to provide long-term relationships with your businesses, while underneath there's a support system that's giving them the access to information whenever they want, and enable you to get engaged and support with them throughout their startup, scale-up and growth journey. Most importantly, it will provide a framework that supports local initiatives that sometimes sort of what I call turn on and turn off. It's a framework that those local-based initiatives can sit on top of and enrich them. But then when they've gone, there's still something for a local business to come back to and go, how do I get that support? I know that my business and all the businesses I created would never have happened had I not been fortunate to access the right business support. And we want to really make sure that we can provide that in a new AI-powered world, which is changing the rules considerably. Sorry. Our objective, too many buttons to press, is to help create new businesses, to help increase SME scale up, and to provide over 5 million businesses with access to on-demand business advice and resources. We will work with the FSB, we will work with local communities like BIRA to make sure we've got all of the information that is relevant to SMEs in the knowledge base so that they can access it on demand. Our job is to make sure that AI works and make sure that knowledge base is up to date. And we want to provide everybody with a license so they can go in and add their local knowledge, which will then be compartmentalized so that businesses can access the underlying knowledge, but then also access the local knowledge on top. It may sound far-fetched, but we already have the infrastructure for this. We've already built it and delivered it across a number of projects, and it's proven to be incredibly successful. We could keep it in a closed community for us, but we want to look at a way of saying, how can we make this available across the UK so we can establish that long-lasting AI-enabled business support ecosystem that will scale and be easy to maintain with fresh information. If you're not, what I call, embracing AI yet, it's really hard to think this late's just off our head. But Sarah, how real is this, in your experience from what you have seen so far?
It's incredibly real. I mean, taking it away from local authorities, the work that we've been doing with big law firms around, putting a knowledge base together for them so that all of their, the latest money laundering legislation or the latest criminal legislation, whatever it might be, it's all there and available to them. So they use it kind of in a slightly different way, where it's internal use, so their lawyers have access to this huge knowledge base. And we can do it either way, can't we? We can do it so that it's a program that supports your business delivery service providers or the businesses themselves, or both. It's endless, and every time we built one of these for somebody, we even surprise ourselves at how clever it is, because obviously the technology behind it gets better and better and better and better, almost on a daily basis, doesn't it?
Yeah, really, really powerful. So we are saying that we have got the facilities to provide the support, the core support infrastructure for local business support. And it's not a new thing. We've deployed it across many different verticals, and we're now offering it as a single infrastructure that local authorities can plug in to provide a localized solution. We are really excited by it. It's not new technology. It's a technology readiness level 9. It's been commercialized and used across multiple verticals already. Evidence of need. As I said when I started the webinar today, I'm slightly disappointed that we revealed this data at the beginning of the High Street Task Force, and actually the dial hasn't moved that much. And it hasn't moved that much because actually the challenge, if you're not yet really embracing digital, is the gap's just got much bigger. But we know, and we're going to show you some lovely stories of people that lean in, that when businesses start to lean in, the difference, particularly now in a world of AI, means that they can get access to help within seconds and suddenly go, oh, that's not that hard, I can do this. We know from multiple projects that if you increase digital capability of the businesses in a place, your footfall goes up significantly. Think of it that this phone in everybody's hand, this is now the signposts. And if you are not being found there, people don't turn up. Not only that, but your businesses need to be able to trade with markets that are not on their doorstep, and getting them to have their skills make all that difference. So our plan is to use a proven AI-powered process to amplify existing business knowledge. It's all about knowledge share. We're going to provide access to a general business knowledge base that we manage and keep updated through our partnerships. And then our partners, such as local authorities, will be able to add their local knowledge that already exists. So it's taking the knowledge that you've already got through your business support systems and making it available to businesses in that postcode area. We'll train your local teams to update and help you identify gaps in the knowledge base based upon questions being asked. So if you can see from the questions being asked by local businesses, like, oh, we're not actually providing our services, service provision can get so much better. And it will be enabled with 24/7 access for any SME. And we have some really great human handoff tools so that you can ensure that your business support teams, in effect, this is lead generation for them, because your local businesses will use it, and where they don't get immediate answers, it will get passed off to humans, your humans, us, people, us lovely people. But also you'll be able to have a complete history of what that business has been asking about. It's a really exciting world, and we really want to help local authorities deliver business support in a new way. We appreciate that budgets are tight around growth hubs and all of those things, but there's a mass of knowledge and information that is sat in silos that's not being accessed by businesses. And everything we've seen over the last few years shows us that it is giving people access to knowledge that makes the difference. And we've also seen so many great programs that get delivered, but actually then disappear, and people can't actually access the knowledge again. And that's such a shame. And this provides an infrastructure that knowledge will live on. Any questions, Sarah? You go on to a demo.
Well, yeah, you go on to demo. I was just going to say that, one of the things I want to reinforce, actually, just having looked at that last slide, is that it's important to understand that AI isn't going to replace the human in your teams. If anything, for us, it's allowed us to be more human, more accessible, because the AI is giving all of our clients, if you like, and businesses huge value and learning at pace. But that handoff piece is just so lovely, where we can see all the conversations that are going on. I then have an opportunity, and my team have an opportunity to pick up on conversations, go, hey, this is so interesting that you're looking at this, and really interested to see what you're doing as a business. Perhaps you'd like to come to a live session with us, or with one of our advisors, to learn how to do it a little bit more, so that slightly differently, so that it fits perfectly within your business and your strategy. Because nothing is generic. Every business, every process is different, but the personal touch, that's what, when you're giving value, knowledge, but it's that personal bit, and that being able to have time to give people much more of a cuddle, if you like. I think that is one of the biggest benefits. So it's important to not to think I'm replacing people.
I'm totally not. It's about giving more value. It's all about giving more value, Sarah. So I've hopped across to this is our, if you like, the core product. And what's interesting about this is this product knows how to be you. So if this was in, let's have a look, this is with Aylesbury Council here. If this was Aylesbury Councils, this would talk as them. This version is for Monty and Flo, who are a small SME basket business. So when they ask for help, and this is the really interesting thing, when they ask for help, it gives them an answer knowing what kind of business that is. So if I say, should we do some strategy stuff, Sarah?
Yeah, let's do it.
If we say, I'd like some help coming up with marketing. I'd like to develop identify marketing opportunities. So this business is a small business based in Ledbury. And we're asking, sometimes it doesn't like doing this when we're streaming, it's always nervous. So we're asking to identify marketing opportunities for this business.
It's really very niche, isn't it?
Yeah, very niche business. So small business doing baskets and handbags, and it's going to give a response. Here we go. So to identify new marketing activities and niches for your brand, let's align your strengths with current marketing trends and consumer behavior. Now, had you gone and Googled this, you would just get a generic answer. And every business using this platform will get a different answer based upon their social media, their website, what their About Us page says. And we're increasingly looking at how we can feed another trend as well. So brand strengths, based upon the content of your Facebook and Instagram page, your brand strengths are handcrafted personalization, quality materials, fashionable seasonal products. Sustainable and eco-friendliness, opportunities to launch an eco-friendly line of bags. So, this is quite deep business detail, yeah? Increasing consumer demand for eco-friendly products. So if I say trend alignment, let's pick one thing, Sarah. Seasonal limited collections, regularly introduced limited collections, that's nice. Why don't we go increase consumer interest in exclusive limited time products? Should we take that as an idea and say, could you expand on this? Yeah. Do you think that's a good one?
Yep, love it. Well, it's even giving you some niches to explore. That's interesting. Gift market, fashion and lifestyle bloggers and influencers, maternity and baby products. Interesting. Actually, I wonder if that's something that they even thought about.
So you've just got some expert advice in seconds, but the key thing is that you would be responsible. Nobody's had to do anything. It's added to the client's record. Trend alignment. Let's take the maternity brand. Let's take this one. Trend alignment, increase consumer interest in exclusive limited times, and expand. And let's take this one.
Yeah, I like that one.
Bother! I pressed the wrong button. We like these two ideas. It will do one, and then I'll do the other. But this is what is creating the magic moment with local business support. Is no longer is a business having to come and go, oh, what button do I press? They're immediately getting really expert support without having to do anything. Now this is around this specialism here is around digital, but it can be anything. Everything you see down the left-hand side is configurable. So here, great choices. Let's delve deeper into these ideas and outline specific steps for implementation. Customization and personalization. Look at the level of detail that you've gone into here. That's gone into here.
Collaboration with artists. That's nice. Campaign example: create your own masterpiece, inviting customers to design their own bags using a variety of custom options available on your website. Strategy: limited edition themes, collaborative collections, exclusive launch events. Amazing.
I love this idea. Partner with local artists to design and create luxury in customizable designs. So we've gone from nothing to some serious strategy advice around knowing their business. Now, this equally could be a customer-facing AI tool that could help you deliver the bin question or anything else. This is the quality of the answer it provides. I had a really interesting call with somebody last week, and they said, they'd had a rubbish experience using a chatbot. He was with DPD or somewhere. Don't tar all AI with the same brush. AI is only as good as the information you give it. And what we have really focused on, and again, down to the High Street Task Force, it's all around sentiment. It's all around how can you make sure the information you give is as relevant to the business as possible. So here we've said, I love this idea. Can you provide a campaign around this action, partner with local artists or designers to create exclusive customer designs? And again, let's outline a comprehensive campaign for partnering with local artists to create exclusive customized design brands. Ask yourself, if you'd have asked one of your team to do this, if they'd come back to you with this response, how pleased would you be? Identify great design. I would be thrilled. I'd be thrilled. and how long would it have taken? And we can give this to every local business.
Look at all these phases it's coming up with. Metrics, evaluations, KPIs, increased website traffic and duration spent on customization pages, growth in social media engagements and UGC, sales figures from the artistry and motion collection, wrap up. I mean,
how do we go about delivering this? Can you write a project plan for us? So what's different from this? I just seen that interesting question. What's different from this from ChatGPT? Very good question. So our specialism is that we take a business's data and put it securely in a place that means our AI, which is based on GPT, which uses ChatGPT, uses AI, their AI. It blends their AI from ChatGPT with a prompt that's been pre-written to start the conversation. It's quite deep and complex, with most importantly, the most up-to-date version of that business's data. Whereas if a business tries to use AI, they have to every time tell the business who they are, and you never do that consistently. It just doesn't work. So below, here's a detailed project plan to deliver Artistry in Motion by local artists for Monty and Flo this business. So here we go. It's written you out a project plan. How long would it take you to get to that? Now, any one of you can do this right now for anything you're currently working on. And I promise you, it is a game changer. Challenge to you all, get in touch with Sarah and ask her to give you access so you can do something extraordinary. We say anything is possible, and we mean it. So that is the AI stood alone. What's also interesting from an SME's perspective is that when we deliver local engagement projects, we also give them access to a full CRM. So every possible, conceivable digital tool that you can think of, whether it is social media, whether it is building a website, whether it's running a blog, whether it's doing email, automations, dialer. Sarah, you've been doing phone calls this afternoon. It's even got dialer built into it, isn't it?
It's amazing. Yeah. So I can literally call people straight from CRM.
And it's all recorded, so I can check up and go and see what's being said. And oh my gosh, it just is a real game changer. So what I've just shown you also lives inside the CRM product when we're delivering local business support. And again, we are going to include this in this UK-wide package so that it means every SME has access to the tools they need to grow their business. Because you've got marketing tools, you've got social media planners, you've got reporting tools, all of those things that most businesses have in totally, well, most of them don't have them at all. And if they do have them, they've got about 5 different systems that aren't connected together. And so that experience we talked about of the consumer walking down the street on the phone, that's why it's so hard to deliver it, because every time you press a button, it's a different system doing it. But if you put all the systems in one place, it's much easier for a business to actually get their act together and deliver it as one seamless thing. And the magic source here is this button, which is the help. So not only have you got the content creator that we've just shown you, you've also got 24/7 access to experts. Getting this right has not been easy. And again, if anybody's wanting to do local service delivery 24/7, please talk to us, because it's taken a while to get this right. And we've absolutely smashed it now. And as I said earlier on, we're doing 600 plus inquiries a day and making it work. But it works really well. But it wasn't perfect to start with, Sarah, but I would say I couldn't employ people to do this better.
No chance.
And therefore, as Sarah said earlier on, when it does get handed off to a person to deal with, that person gets to have really quality time with the business. The business has already been taken a long way down the path, but that can be applied to B2C environments as well. So you delivering customer service to constituent to people across your constituency. Is that the right word? Is that the right word? I use the right word there. I think so. Maybe not.
I can't say it now myself. Constituency.
Yeah, that might be a political term. It's probably completely the wrong thing to say right now. But it genuinely, AI help, don't ignore it. It is extraordinary. So I hope I haven't banged on too much about that. Sarah, just be very quickly, just show you, we one of the things we learned from everything we've done across local authority areas is one of the biggest challenges with businesses is I don't know what to create. So part of this is a really lovely, simple tool, which is just give me something to create, just give me something to post today. So National Fish and Chips Day.
Oh, hello, that. Ooh, ooh.
No, I'm going to buy fish and chips tomorrow. You know, even writing content, we've provided really fun tools that makes it super simple to write content, as well as doing the strategy piece. So the AI helps across all levels. So celebrate National Fish and Chips Day, maybe, so it knows it's us. Written a lovely post, copy the post, and if you want to go and create an image for it, I might even do that because that's quite fun. The point is that AI is touching every bit of a business now. And so here, if you just choose a social account, not many that do, choose that one, and then say I want to post, and just go back and grab this, and then copy that, and come back here, pop it in here, and then say I want to take that image here, and we're going to have an image for Fish and Chips Day in a heartbeat. Create an image using AI. You know, AI has no limits. You've seen us create an example of a strategy, and now you're going to see us create a fish and chip image. I didn't even know I was going to do that 2 seconds ago, but that is what I want to get across, is that it's given us tools for us all to do stuff, to do unimaginable things. Fish and chips have been done.
Love it.
Love it. Love it. What fun. So I hope that gives you a little taste of just, pardon the pun, that was terrible, wasn't it? A little taste of just, thank you, Sarah, you've caught up. Oh, thank you, Frank. Yes, I just caught up. You know, it's not the devil. It is a really powerful thing that can transform your life and your business's life. So yeah, don't ignore it. We're really excited about the journey we're on, and we want to share it with everybody. You access to data, yeah, you have endless data to be able to see how it's working, how well the local support is working, and this is just the beginning. It's all going to change and improve. So other things that I think are really important to talk about are, you know, we do lots of project with a project called Green Street, and you know they say one of the biggest challenges is educating businesses around sustainability. And this solution solves this too, because you just put all the information about sustainability and environmental and social value into it, and it means that businesses can see the answers. And as we know from what we're doing with digital, if you can show people the answers, that's when change happens. So this for us is about enabling everybody to be at the table with experts 24/7. It doesn't matter what their business needs are, they can be served, and you can understand what people need to have because you can see what the questions they're asking, and that is a game changer because then you can configure service around them, and that's very much what this platform is about, is by being able to see businesses' needs, you can configure service around them. A couple of questions on that. So are you saying that the data is configurable based upon the services you want to deliver? Yes, you can just add to the knowledge base. I'm happy to tell you more of that on a separate call. Local business support liaison, our plan is to work with local teams so that they can add their knowledge base in. That means business support organisations can do ongoing knowledge collection and add it to the platform, and we can coordinate training and oversee the launch with local areas. Obviously, very robust governance within the platform. We have already established significant development standards around it to deliver the services we have to the businesses we have, and we've got proven processes for seamless delivery. We will be talking to all local business support agencies to invite them to be involved. We want to make this a nationwide project. I don't know all the details yet, but you know, I'm a great believer in, you know, get started and the rest will follow. Important things like Cyber Essentials, we're already certified, and we're here to serve you. So I think that's that bit done. I'll go back to the main deck. So any questions on that, please let me know. You will be hearing more about it. And we will be updating people on how we progress with it, because we've had lots of interested parties so far. We should work out how we start the process. So we got any questions coming in? I'll keep clicking through.
Yes. Oh, good question here around. So, are you it's it's quite long form. Are you basically saying that the platform comes with its existing knowledge base for business support, and then each local authority or delivery provider would then add their own knowledge on top of it to enhance it? Is that?
Yeah, absolutely. So we know that across the UK, there are the same questions being answered every day. Every business that we deal with, there's a whole range of questions that are totally the same. So let's answer those. Let's just do it. Then locally, there will be funding questions. There will be, how do I access an expert? That will be completely unique to that area. And that uniqueness is what we want to invite local business support agencies to add. And that will enable us also to make the human handoff happen to those local points. But the key thing is that we continue to deliver bespoke local programs. And honestly, if we could start making each one bespoke and use the same core knowledge underneath, the whole thing would become financially much more efficient for UK government PLC, which I think probably is quite a good idea. But it will enrich the quality of local delivery, because it means your local business support people can focus on delivering real value rather than all repeating the same thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah. There's another question here around, can this only be deployed to support business support, or could it be deployed to support other services such as adoption and social care services?
So we are very experienced in doing local business support, but there is absolutely no reason why it can't be used for other use cases. So as Sarah mentioned, we're already using it with lawyers, and the system doesn't care, sadly. The system just does as it's told. So it's a question of us putting the knowledge base in and repurposing it for that use case. So 100% yes, absolutely can do.
So tell us about the cycling, Polly. I think this is lovely. Actually, this is a project I've been running with my colleague Hannah across London Borough of Hammersmith and Fulham. We had quite a short time scale, actually, only 5 months to deliver local business support to. We had a target of 100 businesses. We actually exceeded that due to demand, and actually supported 130 businesses. We delivered 40 social media advertising grants as well through this project, which businesses have invested to drive sales in the store. And this is a really nice bit of feedback from Pedalback Cycling. It's an amazing opportunity to give small businesses like ours the funds to create Facebook ads that make a huge difference in our reach and ability to connect with more customers. Such a great initiative and a game changer for our marketing. We've had some amazing feedback from this project, haven't we?
Really lovely feedback. Really lovely feedback. I think are these guys from there as well? I think I may have picked up all the feedback.
No, Beetle, yeah. Yes, I think Beetleson. He's an extraordinary young man, only in his 20s, and he's set up a travel company specialising in taking cool people across Africa. And he's just been amazed at how helpful maybe have been in getting me set up onto their platform. And that's because me and my team have been able to be very human with him, with his very specific niche requirements, what he wants to achieve. Really cool technology. And I think they have the power to massively change some businesses for the better. Great work, team.
I think so. What we're fundamentally saying is that what you and your team are doing is what we want to empower local business teams to do. So we've proven the model, and we're now making it so that you can have a window into our technology, so that you can provide that local support if you want to, or we can do it as well. But it's fundamentally what makes it different for these guys is they've got access to it 24/7, and that's what makes everything so different, isn't it? So Sarah, Hull was another one of yours as well, wasn't it?
Yes, again, this was we literally had a 3-month timeline in which to support. I think the target there was 150 businesses. Well, it might even only been 100. Yeah, we supported 197 businesses across that 3-month timeline to help them with their digital skills. There wasn't any social media advertising grant, but the skills base and the time that these businesses have spent really growing their businesses and the support that we've delivered was much appreciated by the partnership board members. So much that they wrote a letter, which was very nice.
Yeah,
Made
thank
us
you.
happy.
Love a letter. I mean, a number of businesses, people saying they'd love to have a one-to-one catch up. Yeah, absolutely. We will send you details, Sarah's details in a moment. I'm very happy to have one-to-one catch ups. The point we're trying to make is that all of these projects, because of the way you are funded, have an end point, and what we want to, endeavour to deliver is a way that means that while your project is funded, you will maybe deliver. There's an enriched version. But when it stops, we don't want these businesses to be left out of the cold again, because they need ongoing support. So we're looking to find an always-on model that works with the existing funding constraints as well. Because the world is changing with AI, and we think we need to find a way to make things better value, but deliver more value. I think there are some really smart ways to do that. And let's lead by example. Let's show businesses how to do this, because if their support that they're getting is using the technology they should be using, I promise you, you will see change faster. So that's big thinking for an afternoon, isn't it? But I'm quite passionate about this. And I love this quote. This is my favourite quote of the week. Sarah, talk to us about Lucinda.
Oh, Lucinda, she's an absolute gem. She came through again, Hammersmith and Fulham, actually. I was trying to have to think, because we're running 2 other projects, one in Buckinghamshire and another one in North Kesteven, simultaneously with this one. But she was so anxious, but she'd got this dream of being a life coach. And she had such a good business plan, but she was terrified of how to put it into process. She wrote a lovely letter saying, "Dear Polly, for the attention of the Maybe team," which I thought was lovely. "I'm 60 years old and I don't find taking things easy. Up till now, I've got overwhelmed and then procrastinated, which has stopped me from progressing in my business. So it's been with Maybe."
I think the key thing, the thing that's really cheeky about this from our perspective, is that let me blow my own team's trumpet. They are amazing, but what made me smile about this when I went and looked in the CRM, she'd actually only spoken to us twice. So all of this loveliness was actually about our AI. That's what's so crazy here. This lady is changing her business. She's changing the way that she sees. We've changed the art of the possible for her. But she doesn't even realize, and it's not because she's having full-on conversations with the AI and learning how to do stuff. And that is what excites me. Is that fair, Sarah?
It's absolutely fair. Well, she sums it up. It's like having my own IT and social media team and secretary. I mean, amazing. I tell everyone about Maybe. It's super amazing. It always makes me a bit, well, it made me well up a bit when I saw this earlier on this week. I thought it was just such a lovely thing. It makes it feels like, come on, we got it right.
And to just to be clear, everything we're talking about right now can also be white label that can look like you. We are really passionate about using the nugget that Kathy Parker planted when she started the High Street Task Force project around place sentiment. Is that all of these businesses impact your place sentiment. If they don't have their digital signposts out, you are not visible. So help them have a digital voice, because that is what we do. That's what we've learned. But we want to take everything we've done and make it much more available as an infrastructure for you to build local services of, because you've got some critical components for local business support. You need proven recruitment process, and on-demand access to knowledge, access to tools that make digital business possible, 24/7 expert support, human handoff to local experts, and ongoing availability. We have found a way to supply all of this via one package that can localize content and connect with your advisors. So it's not about replacing what you do, it's about enriching what you do and providing a thoroughly modern infrastructure to deliver it through. And it's going to improve, it's going to change because technology is changing so fast now. But I believe the days of one-off programs will have to be considered, because you want to build continuity, and we'd like to help you build yours. Lovely. So it's critical to have a play with it and learn to build trust in it, which in turn will give you confidence to use it. Thank you, Diane Harrison. Yes, exactly that. Trust AI. It's not the devil. It's your helper. So our next chapter is about harnessing local knowledge and services to amplify the impact across each participating region in the UK. I am dedicating to empowering SMEs to leverage AI and technology, drive innovation and growth through our communities. And I'd love to do it with you. So please keep in touch. We will be running webinars the same time throughout. We're going to just continue. We're going to keep this slot, and we will keep sharing with you the progress of this project. We'd love to those of you on the call that haven't been involved before to jump in and talk to us about it, and we will show you the progress, share you our progress as we go on. We have, as Sarah mentioned, a number of campaigns that are currently running, and we're looking to extend how those work, both inside and outside of UK SPF funding. Everybody, yeah, all of those that have said they want a one-on-one with Sarah, absolutely would be delighted to speak to you, and we will be dropping a recording of this out. Here are Sarah's details here. I would just like to say thank you so much to the High Street Task Force for inviting us to be a partner way back when. We hope we have held up our end of the bargain well. For me, the legacy of our part is, how do we enable this thought of place sentiment to move forward? Because actually, it's more important now than ever that we help keep place sentiment at the forefront of everybody's mind. Because if you don't own that digital conversation, your businesses don't own the digital conversation around your place, you've got a problem. Sarah, over to you to wrap up.
Oh, good Lord, I don't know if you've left me anything more to say other than, look, I'd be absolutely delighted to talk to anyone or all of you, hopefully all of you, although some of you I'm already working with, so it's very nice of you to join us anyway, to talk about the local business support that we can offer, on your behalf, but also, to look at how we can help you to utilise our AI-powered tools to deliver your best support faster. So my email is Sarah, SARAH, @maybetech.com. And I'll be delighted to chat to you. And we'll see you. And it feels really nice because I was worried, Polly, that it was this whole series. I mean, how long have I been doing these? 3.5 years I've been with you, nearly 4 years probably. Every week and every month rather on the first Wednesday. And I was thinking, oh, so I'm really pleased that we're going to be continuing these. So do expect an email next month. We will be reminding you. It'll be in slightly different guise, but we will be keeping you up to date, and we really hope you join us, and do feel free to invite any colleagues.
Thank you very much. Thank you, High Street Task Force, and you will get a copy of this by email probably tomorrow. And thank you all so much, and thank you all of those that want the one-on-ones. Look forward to working with you. Here's to helping local businesses much more. Thank you very much.